Gnocchi, which is the plural of the word gnocco. Generally, outside of Italy, everybody thinks that they're potato gnocchi, but actually we have a myriad number of pastas that we consider gnocchi. It's actually a family, it's sort of an umbrella name or a family name for any kind of dumpling or lump. Some are more lumpy and less formed, others are more formal. The word gnocchi or gnocco comes from, they think, gnocchio, which could be sort of the knot in wood, or gnocco, which is knuckle. And in fact, when we cut off our little bits of gnocchi to form them or leave them in the soft pillow shape, we generally say that it should be about not much longer than your knuckle shape, or about that size. You don't want them too large, so it's sort of bite size. And then they can go smaller from there. Gnocchi can be made with potatoes, which is sort of the traditional thing that everybody knows outside of Italy. We also make gnocchi with semola flour, which is durum wheat, semolina for you guys. You can also do something called a Gnudi from Tuscany. Gnudi, which sounds like nude, kind of looks like a ravioli without the exterior. And because it's a lump, we put it into the gnocchi family. So that pillow, I call them the pillow gnocchis, the ones that don't have any sort of exterior texture. Those are actually very, very common in Rome, which is where I live. If you make a potato or ricotta gnocchi that has no ridges on it, that looks like a soft pillow, if you provide them a gnocchi that has the little ridges, which you make with a gnocchi board or with a basket or with a sushi mat or with the cheese grater, anything that gives it a little texture, they don't think that's gnocchi at all. We also have a bunch of different gnocchi in Italy. From the far north, we have stuff like Spaetzle, Knäderli, Schupfnudeln, which are all from sort of the German, Austrian, Swiss border towns in a variety of different shapes and aren't actually formed that much at all. Sometimes you'll take it and with your scraper just flip off little bits into the water, and those are very good. They're usually done with cheese and butter and stuff like that. And then of course, all the way down the boot, there are arguably about 25 official different types of gnocchi, almost one for every region. So it's a wide variety of umbrella kind of pasta. People often ask me, they say, well, what is the perfect sauce for a perfect kind of pasta or particular gnocchi? I always say it really depends not only on what's in your gnocchi, but in what region you find yourself. So if you're up in the north of Italy, you're going to be wanting to use a lot of butter, a lot of cheese, a lot of milk, more French, Austrian, German influence. As you get to the central part of Italy and towards the south, of course, tomatoes become a really big deal. In the central part, before you get to the tomato area, you'll have a lot of mushrooms, truffles. And then, of course, as you go south, you can find occasional dishes, ones without egg, you would actually put with fish as well, like the maloredus from Sardinia. When you want to really be able to taste and understand the subtleties of gnocchi, whether the potato or ricotta or anything else, we tend to tell people to finish them in melted butter with either what you're doing today or a bit of sage, herbs. And then, of course, there's the classic pesto, which goes very well with potato gnocchi, and that actually comes from the Ligurian region, which they have a lot of really great basil and pinoli nuts, and so that's where basil pesto comes from. There's this wonderful expression that we have in Italy called Giovedì gnocchi, which literally means Thursdays are for gnocchi. And the expression actually comes from Lazio, which is where Rome is, which is where I live. It's an expression that sort of came into use around the World Wars, so not so long ago. And it was that you had gnocchi on Thursdays, Friday was meant for fish, and on Saturdays it was meant for tripe. The reason that they gave themselves these rules is that there wasn't a lot available, of course, around and after World War II, and we had Roman families who were really planning out their weeks, so they knew exactly what they would have to eat and how to plan for it. You would have gnocchi, which was a light dish, before Friday, which is fish. In Catholic culture. You don't eat any meat on Fridays, and then you can go into the weekend and celebrate with a more substantial meal on Saturday, but you have your big family meal on Sundays where you would eat 2 or 3 kinds of vegetable, 2 or 3 kinds of meat, 2 or 3 kinds of pasta. It was really a big celebration to end up the week after you'd sort of, been very parsimonious and everything all weekend. The basil pesto is basil, pinoli nuts, oil, garlic, a little salt, really easy.